Jedi, at last we will have revenge. The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural. Now you will experience the full power of the dark side.
Hello, the Rule of Two Star Wars podcast fans. We are back today with episode 108, but it's a very special episode because Dave has his own podcast room.
I do, and I love it. It's quite echoey at the moment because I've got nothing on my walls. The only thing I've really gotten here is going to be the bookshelves you see behind me, the desk that I'm probably not going to keep because it's an old desk, and a chair that is temporary. But yes, I've got my own podcast room. I'm digging it though.
So he just has to tear it down every time, which I've had mine for a while. It's just got this like little thing though. But I've had my room for a while. It's been so nice not to tear it down because it's like, okay, I'm ready, and you got to tell Dave like, okay, we're gonna record in 20 minutes. So start setting up your stuff.
Yeah, and then
Now
I
he just
gotta,
has
I
to do
gotta
that.
fix the lighting also because like I look all whitewashed and I actually look like a Dark Lord of the Sith, all pale and.
That's how he
Creepy.
normally looks, guys. Don't worry about it. That's how he normally looks.
Anyway, but I am rocking a Sith logo beanie that I got on Triple Force Friday.
Is that the only thing you bought on Triple Force Friday?
No, if you've got a keen eye, you can see behind me. I'm gonna duck down a little bit. You can see my carbonized Sith Trooper right there. First edition Supreme Leader Kylo Ren right there. And Carbonite Mandalorian Target exclusive. Oh, and that one was the Amazon exclusive. And then, let me see which way I need to turn. That one is the second sister carbonized Black Series figure. I normally don't get anything on like the Force Fridays and stuff like that, but I felt compelled to get these.
So Dave is going to go back and start recollecting all of these from previously.
No.
He's going to do it.
No.
And
I do have the room now.
Yeah, he does have the room.
That's scary. Oh, that's scary. I just thought of that. I do have the room for the Black Series figures now.
He's going to do it. Just wait. It'll slowly start to grow. Anyway, I did not partake in Triple Force Friday. I did not buy anything. The only thing that I thought was somewhat cool was the Lego Star Wars, which I did not purchase. But yeah, I'm okay with it. I haven't like really like, oh, I'm missing this or I need this, so I'm good. But
it's better to have and not need than need and not have, John.
I can buy basic Lego bricks to make the Millennium Falcon.
No, you can't. I will pay you $100 that you cannot buy just random bricks and make the same thing.
It's called the 3D printer.
Out of Legos, John.
Oh,
you said you would just randomly buy bricks.
I'll buy bricks. Stack them on top of the Millennium Falcon with a 3D printer and said, hey, there you go.
Cheating. That is why you shall never.
Anyway.
I don't know. I'm just talking nonsense.
So episode 108.
Yes. Gristchus, Rhodians, we got a lot of things to catch up on. John was already going to say we were on the same page right there. A lot of stuff. We've been gone for a while. We had to move everything out of one casa to another, move, the realms of the dark side from one era to the next, and now we're finally here, and we got a lot of stuff to catch up on. So, Johnny, what are we doing first?
I kind of broke this up into segments.
Okay.
So I'll give you the top item or the category name, and you tell me what you want to talk about.
Sounds like Jeopardy.
Yeah, because I was going to say Jeopardy. And this is Alex Trebek. Anyway.
Oh, I love Trebek. He's cool.
I know. So we have episode 9. We have Disney Plus, Resistance, other news, and books.
Let's go ahead and start with books for 200, please.
So books for 200. I'm going to talk about one book, and then Dave can talk about the rest. Because he's a book guy. The one that I'm excited about, and I don't care what anybody else says, that we got an announcement at the New York City Comic Con, was we're getting another Thrawn trilogy, and it's called the Thrawn Ascendancy, which takes place prior to the current Thrawn trilogy that we just finished, that Timothy Zahn just finished.
So why are you excited for that one?
Because so for me, I finished the first Thrawn book. I haven't started the second one. I know I said I was going to start it.
Or the third.
Me sorry, guys. Me sorry.
Haven't read the original Thrawn trilogy.
But anyway, so I was super excited about Thrawn. And then when I got to the end of the first Thrawn book, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
So much stuff made sense from the beginning. And I was like, I want to know a little bit more about how they got to this point. Now, you had mentioned when we were talking about this that we could get the Grisk in this trilogy. And so I'm interested to see, and I'm curious to see how close they get to like the current. Is it going to overlap or like The Force Awakens and Last Jedi, where it's like The Force Awakens ends, The Last Jedi picks up, or how's that going to work?
Well, you theoretically can, considering it's going to be a trilogy. The third book could end it with the Chiss leaving Thrawn on that planet in which they found him initially, the Empire, and that story picks off from there. So they could technically make it where there is no time lapse in between from the third Thrawn Ascendancy book to the new book entitled just Thrawn. So it's possible. But then that also go ahead and it eliminates any other adventures to happen in between that point to that point. Which, does Disney really want to do that?
But I think they have so much other stuff they can talk about, and so much more they can expand on Thrawn.
Which is another Disney property. Tron, by the way.
I know. It's coming to Disney Plus. But anyway,
they actually wanted to reboot Tron when they came out with that one with Olivia Wilde, and I forget what that other kid's name is. But it didn't do so hot, and it was supposed to be a new trilogy. Never got to see it. Kind of sad. I loved Olivia Wilde. Beautiful.
Anyway, so that trilogy is coming out May 5th of 2020. So be looking for that. I'm sure that's going to be on Dave's Christmas and birthday list next year.
Is there any conventions around that time? Because I know May the 4th is the day before, and Revenge of the 5th is when the book comes out, which is totally awesome. But are they going to continue the tradition of having these new Thrawn books have convention exclusive covers? That's kind of my concern. Because I love the convention exclusives. I've been lucky enough to track them all down, whether at conventions that I've gone to myself or on the black eBay market. I just don't know off the top of my head if there's any conventions going around May that this could possibly be an exclusive for. Because San Diego Comic-Con, it's always June, July. That's not going to happen there. Celebration's not till August. There might be something else in between. I'm just not thinking about it.
I don't think there's any. There's not any major ones.
Who knows? We'll see. We just gotta wait and see, John. No worries looking at it, man. There's so many different conventions going on.
So anyway, what were the other books that you had mentioned? I know you're the book guru. That were coming out.
So March 2020, Ray Carson will be unveiling the novelization of Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. So that'll be pretty cool. They have already said that there's going to be it will be an extended edition very similar to The Last Jedi, which has a lot more content than what we saw in the movie. So it's going to fill in even more gaps that we might not have visually seen. You also have the Clone Wars anthology, which is going to obviously take place during the Clone Wars, and it's going to have a bunch of different authors doing stories in the Clone Wars timeline that's going to expand on certain episodes or different things in between the episodes. For instance, the first story that we know we're getting is going to be an Asajj Ventress story. That takes place somewhere in the Clone Wars, so that's awesome. And that's supposed to debut August 25th, 2020. And then, do you know what else is coming, John? Do you know what else?
No.
Then you also have okay, so this year they came out with Greg Mann came out with the Myth and Fables of Star Wars, and it was a blue book. It was nice, little bound book. They're going to come out with a Dark Legends, so kind of the opposite of the light side stories and fairy tales, if you will, that we got in this year's release. So that one should be coming around October, I think they said, which something to look out for, especially for you guys that are collectors. I want to go ahead and grab each and every Star Wars commodity and ingest it and read it and love it and tell John he needs to read it and he doesn't read it.
Thrawn. That's it.
You gotta read the other Thrawns. You can't be all high on the Thrawn horse and not read the other ones.
You forgot one.
I'm not done.
Oh.
Done. I gotta get into the high pitch voice for that. You also have Alpha Beat Squadron by Alexander Freed, which is going to be called Shadowfall. And I don't think they specifically said a date other than June 2020. Is that what you got, John? Or you got something different?
Let me see. I thought I had a date earlier.
They might have dropped something. Oh, sorry, guys. Those are my angry huskies in the background. They're wrestling. Fighting for dominance. It's like a Sith Academy here. They're all out to get each other. Yeah, Shadowfall, June 2020. You also have
June 23rd.
Dude, June 23rd. Let's see. There's also a new Darth Vader series comic by Greg Pak, which is going to take place between the events of episode 5 and 6, exploring Vader's mindset and essentially upset and trying to figure out who made Luke Skywalker, his son, so weak and not making him want to join Vader when he extends him the offer of ruling the galaxy of father and son. So he's pissed that his kid is weak and is angry, wants to know who turned his kid, Luke, into a light side lover instead of the dark. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Obi-Wan.
Exactly. But I don't think Vader knows that. Then you also have Charles Soule, who's going to be doing a new Star Wars comic series that's going to be running essentially between episode 5, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. Just kind of filling that gap of what happened to Luke, how he became the kid that got his hand chopped off, to the Jedi that walks into Jabba's palace wearing all black with a green lightsaber. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. It fills in that gap. What do you think,
Lots of books, lots of comics.
You can pick anything up? You can pick anything up?
No. Do I only ever pick up Thrawn. I didn't pick up Alphabet Squadron either.
I did pick it up, and I wasn't a big fan of Alphabet Squadron, but maybe I just got to go back and reread it.
You did say that you may need to reread it before you read the next one. So.
Well, and I definitely am, but I don't know, it just didn't grab me. The other big thing about, or out of New York City Comic Con was, John, what is it?
Project Luminous.
Talk to me about Project Luminous, man.
So Project Luminous is a project with Luminous in it.
It's got a lot of lights. It's got a lot of looms, guys.
This light shines lights. Bright. So they didn't give a whole lot more information about it. Hold on, let me get to the picture here.
Bum, bum, bum.
It gave us a quote from the Jedi, but there's apparently several authors that are collaborating on this. Let's see. Here we go. So it says, the Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things until Project Luminous 2020. Claudia Gray, Justine Ireland, Daniel Jose Older, Kevin Scott, and Charles Soule.
It's no surprise. No one really has to guess or try and figure out, but it makes a very clear statement that the way we think about the Force and how we know it works is going to change. I'm interested to see what that means for the future of Star Wars. And obviously they said they're not going to release anything until January 2020, I should say, January 2020, when the dust settles and everybody has enough time to watch Rise of Skywalker 10, 12 times and really soak in and let that story finish. Thoughts, Johnny?
Let it soak in. Let it finish. No, so there's been so many like speculations and things about there. They've been talking a lot about the Rian Johnson series again, and everybody's like said the same thing. We're not going to release. We're not going to talk about anything. We're not going to give you any more information until after we finish episode 9, which I think is the right thing to do. And Bob Iger was the one that said that after Solo, like our sole focus right now is on episode 9, like getting episode 9 to the viewers, to the fans, and then after that we'll figure out everything else. You and I've talked, I think, offline about this a lot. Is they've got to find a way to fill this gap. You know, we have the Mandalorian, we have the Cassian Andor series, we have a lot of other stuff that's coming in terms of content. But I know you would love this. But what if they fill a lot of that gap with just books?
I see it happening. You know, the expanded universe, the old stuff that they call Legends now. It was right, man. There was stuff all over the place. A bunch of characters introduced. You know, Thrawn was part of that expanded universe, and he made, you know, now he's in the new canon. We have the Yuzong Vong, who everybody suspects the Grisks are the replacement of the Yuzong Vong. I don't know, man. I honestly I think more and more Project Luminous is gonna take a time jump. We're gonna get stories either 100 to 1,000 years plus or minus the stories that we know now. So either it's going to be Old Republic or it's going to be something completely new down the road of random other Jedi, Sith, Force users.
So do you think this could potentially set up the next set of movies?
I think so. I think it's got to work in tandem with it. Whether it's just kind of leveling the playing field and saying, you know what, Project Luminous is when the first people learned how to use the Force. It's the light. It's the beginning. You know what I mean? Or it's the end. One or the other. I don't know.
And that's the thing is they teased this. What was it? Celebration last year,
Yeah,
right?
Chicago.
They teased this in Celebration Chicago, and then like you didn't hear much about it. You didn't get any more information. And then New York City Comic Con, we get a little bit more information. Obviously, we're going to have to continue to wait. It just says 2020.
January 2020.
January 2020, which is right after The Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
So we'll just have to wait and see for Project Luminous.
I just think they're going to talk about a time jump. I think they're going to stay away from what we know now for a little bit. Dave Filoni's probably going to come out with another cartoon of Ahsoka and Sabine adventures going after Ezra. You know, yay, Ahsoka. Guys, I say that I like the character of Ahsoka. I'm not head over heels for Ahsoka. I think I'm just still bitter about Ahsoka living after the events of Rebels when she was facing Darth Vader. I'm not going to go into it, John, because you already given me that look like I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to get into it. Not a fan of it. I saw those episodes again recently. Still not a fan of it. Not a fan.
All right. Your remaining categories.
Okay.
Episode 9, Disney Plus, Resistance, or other news?
Let's go Disney Plus for 500, Bob.
Oh, 500. Okay. So Disney Plus.
Yes,
Disney Plus on Monday released Disney, Lucasfilms, Marvel, whoever, released the entire lineup of movies, TV shows, cartoons, and anything else you could think of that will be debuting on Disney Plus on November 12th. Did I say that right? Debuting. I think I literally said debuting instead of saying debut. It's debut.
Yeah, that's why I
debut on Disney Plus. Sorry.
You're good.
So they will be coming on November 12th. So obviously we know we're going to get The Mandalorian, which is less than 1 month away. 1 month away from The Mandalorian. I feel like I have this sinus congestion going on, and so like I feel like I really can't hear myself.
Gets a little cold in the area you're at, and the world's falling down. You're getting sinus issues. You're shaking the camera. It's getting rowdy. I love it.
So we have The Mandalorian coming November 12th. We also have every single Star Wars movie except for Solo and Episode 8. They still have contracts with Netflix based on an article that we read before, so we won't be seeing those for right now. And then they also have the animated series. So all Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars The Clone War, the movie, You got the Lego
The
animated series,
Resistance.
the Resistance, which is under season 1 only as of right now because season 2 is going on. But all that would be coming for Star Wars. The other cool thing that I think that Disney did on Monday for Disney Plus and Twitter is they literally chronologically posted an individual post for all the movies that are shows that are coming out to Disney Plus from their entire library. All the Disney movies, Marvel, all that stuff individually posted to Twitter in chronological order.
I'm not a big Disney catalog guy. Honestly, I think I'm going to enjoy Disney Plus for the Star Wars content, and that's about it. I know you and your family love Disney. Like the only thing I'll probably watch on there, if it is even on there, I didn't even look at the list, is The Great Mouse Detective.
Oh, I didn't actually see if that one was on there.
I
I love that
it
movie
probably
though.
it's probably not the one like Disney movie that I like and love is not going to be on there, but that's awesome. It's going to just go ahead and make families, parents, kids really want this because again, it's going to have a robust catalog that you would have to spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars to acquire these movies individually. So it's great.
Yeah, so pretty cool. I do remember Disney saying something, or there was an article that came out that some movies will leave Disney Plus for a short time to go back to Netflix due to contractual agreement. But we'll have to wait and see what movies those are.
So what
You
Star
also
Wars movies are going to be on there? Live action Star Wars movies.
I already said.
No, you didn't, did you?
Yeah, I did. I said The Mandalorian, then all the Star Wars movies except Solo and Episode 8.
Maybe it's just because the beanie hoodie. I'm not hearing it anymore. I don't know.
Anyway, so Solo and Episode 8 are still on Netflix. They have to remain on Netflix for a short time. So they're still waiting. And I think, I can't remember, some of the Marvel movies are still remaining on Netflix because of the release.
I
So,
think they said Captain Marvel is going to be the first one
yep,
on Disney Plus, right? That's going to be
that is
released.
correct. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. Then we also got the Cassian Andor series and other ones that are coming for Disney Plus. We'll have to wait and see on those. So,
Yeah.
okay. Next category, Episode 9, Resistance or Other News.
I'm going to go with Freddie Prince Jr. Unleashed for 700, Bob.
Okay, that's other news category. So guys, I'm gonna get on my soapbox right
Oh
now,
gosh.
and then I'm gonna get off of it. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore, and I'm not gonna comment on any of Dave's comments. Freddie Prinze Jr. 3-minute, 18-second rant on a podcast about Star Wars fans that reach out to him and complain, and they understand the Force, and they were made for kids, and they don't like them. Freddie's got some points. I get it. George Lucas has said that Star Wars is made for kids. Don't know if I truly believe that 100%. But Star Wars was also made generationally. The people who love the original trilogy didn't like the prequels, don't like the new trilogy. It's a different generation. They made it for a different generation. You got to accept it. You got to love it or you got to hate it. But at the end of the day, just like those Cowboy fans, if you jump on and off the bandwagon based on how they do, you're the same way if you do the same thing for Star Wars. You either love Star Wars for what it is, the fandom, the adventures you go on, remembering what you saw in Star Wars, the theme parks, the conversations you have with your friends, your buddies, or whatever, the Force that you like, what the Force comes, what they created. That's why you like Star Wars. You don't like Star Wars because you jump on and off the bandwagon because of things that they put out that you don't like. People have said Disney and Kathleen Kennedy have ruined Star Wars. I don't agree with either one of those statements. I grew up in the prequel era. There's some things I didn't like about the new one. I've mentioned that. I'm okay with it. They're starting to grow on me. But at the end of the day, Freddie, I'm not a fan of yours because you weren't very nice to me when I took a picture for you. I spent a lot of money. But anyway, just saying, calm down. I understand the Dave Filoni taught you and George Lucas taught him. But get over it, dude. It's okay. Have a nice day. I'm done. I'm out.
Okay, so as John dies when he says he's out, that's just kind of scary. Um, so this popped up on All Things Comedy. It was a segment on the Jeff Dye podcast. I'm not too familiar with it, but that's where it originated from. It's Freddie, this guy Jeff, and some other dude in the room talking, but it immediately jumps to Freddy going off. And that's the only segment I was able to find, is the 3-minute and 18-second video of Freddy just hitting it with the Force Unleashed, just going ape shit, just F this, F this, F this, F this. I lost count of how many F bombs the guy dropped. But my thing is, what happened before that 3 minutes and 18 seconds? What was the lead up to that? We don't really know. What was in Freddy's tumbler that was right in front of him as he's podcasting? The guy went off. He makes a lot of good, valid points. You already mentioned, Star Wars is generational. It's for kids. Every time I read that or hear somebody say Star Wars is for kids, and they're like, "Oh, that's from George Lucas. That's from George, the creator." I get that, but I think our perception of kids is different. So when I hear for kids, I think like 10 and under. I don't know if George meant 10 and under, or if he meant young adolescents, like 12 to 17. I don't know. To me, those stories resonate more with somebody between the 12 to 17 range, because that's when you're trying to really find yourself. That's when you're coming out of, the shadow of your parents, things like that. And stories like Luke Skywalker and Rey's become more prevalent, of looking towards the sunset. What am I going to be when I grow up? Oh, I want to join the flight academy. Oh, I want to go hang out with my friends at Tashi Station, kind of thing. Like, those things become real in that time frame. Or maybe that's just the way it was for John and I growing up, because again, we both grew up in the prequel era, but I still love the original trilogy over the prequels, because I was exposed to those before the prequels. And I love it. Freddy goes, "No, this is information, not affirmation." And he goes off, and then he starts making analogies to Greek mythology, saying how Darth Maul is destined to lose, and he knows it. If you think about it, every endeavor Darth Maul has ever took part in, it's not been a winning endeavor for him. He's never really won and seized the day. That guy's always felt defeat at one junction or another. But he keeps on until his bitter, demise at Obi's hands, 20, 30 years later, after the fact that he had the first showdown with him. So I get it. Then Freddy switches gears and says there's no gray Jedi. That's fan fiction. It's always in everyone's head. Qui-Gon's not a gray Jedi. He's a light user. I agree. He's not a gray Jedi. He's a Jedi. He just doesn't have the same dogmatic view as those that are sitting on the council. And I don't think that's the definition of a gray Jedi. If you look at Legends, I think, or even fan fiction, whatever the hell you want to call it, I think the gray Jedi thing is somebody that dabbles on the dark side of the Force as well as the light, and doesn't have maybe the killer instinct of the dark side and the martyr aspect of them for the light. I think a gray Jedi, in my mind, is somebody that just does whatever they want. There's a means to an end, kind of like a Cassian Andor. You see him killing a guy in order to get information and get out of a sticky situation. That is something a gray Jedi would do. I would never see Qui-Gon kill somebody. John, would you see Qui-Gon kill somebody to get out of a sticky situation?
No.
That he didn't need to kill?
Qui-Gon wouldn't do it.
He would have found a way for both of them to get out of there. He would have. So for me, no, Ahsoka's not even a gray Jedi. She's just a Force user that is no longer aligned with the Jedi. Yes, Qui-Gon didn't think as the Council did, because why? Because, and you and I work retail, John. We know that corporate says one thing, and the store reality is another. The Council, the corporate entity, has sometimes lost touch with the ground and how things operate on the ground level, and what it takes to get something done. Yeah, their plan could be theoretically great and fantastic, but operationally, does it make sense? I think that's the fault of the Jedi Council. They think they're all-knowing, they're almighty, they have this wondrous collection of knowledge in the Jedi Temple. But they forgot how society works. And I think that was the fault of the Jedi Masters, the Jedi Council, in the prequel trilogy. Not because Qui-Gon's a great Jedi now. John, what do you think? Am I just talking nonsense?
You're not talking nonsense. I agree with what you're saying.
You
I'm
know,
not getting into the Freddy thing again. But I agree with what you're saying.
but this is a derivative of
Yeah,
that
I
conversation.
agree with the fact that you lose connection, you lose touch with how things actually happen. But I also think it becomes very political.
Exactly.
You make decisions based off political means, and you won't take an action even though you know it's the right action because of the political implications it could have. So.
And then, you know, Freddy goes on to say that all these characters are archetype characters. Like we know their end. We know what's going to happen with them. I agree. As much as I'm a dark side kind of guy, I know Palpatine's not going to win at the end of this movie. Darkness will not fall on the galaxy and leave it in a dark place.
Or will it?
Again, perspective. One person's perspective of dark versus light can be argued all day. But Palpatine's not going to win at the end of this movie. I hate to freaking say it, guys, but he's not going to win. Neither is Kylo Ren. The First Order will not win the day. Do you contest that, John? Do you think the First Order, Kylo Ren, Palpatine, one of them is going to win?
No.
He's not wrong, guys. These are archetype characters. I didn't say you.
I know I'm not.
But no, like Rey's gonna win. She's gonna run off into the sunset with a Falcon and Chewie, and it's gonna be a happy day, and everyone's gonna cheer and laugh, even myself, because it gives me the warm and fuzzies. But the bad guys aren't gonna win. Yes, you know the bad guys have won in a couple of movies, but then they end up losing again in the long run.
Save the dream, save the rebellion.
Pretty much, but again, it goes balance of the Force. You know, it's balancing. So, you know, you have Luke on the light. You have Kylo on the dark. Same thing with Rey on the light. Snoke on the dark. Now Snoke's gone, so now it's been replaced by Palps. You still have Luke as an essence, a spirit, Force Ghost, whatever. I get it. It's all balance. It really is. But at the end of the day, we know who's going to win, unfortunately. Freddy, you're not wrong. I just want to know why you went off, bro. Why did you go off? What made you spit some fire on the mic? That's what I want to know, John. Because the Freddy I know hugged me at Star Wars Celebration.
Yeah, well, he's not that nice.
He hugged me, bro. It happened.
Anyway, I'm done with the Freddy conversation.
It happened. Either way.
Anyway.
Freddy went Force Unleashed and just raged and freaking F-bomb dropped all over the place. Yes, he has the privilege of learning from Filoni, who learned from Lucas. That's awesome. He's got insight that none of us have. You know, he says that there's things that working in the background that help to balance the Force. You know, we know the midichlorians are in that conversation. But then if you start thinking about George's original treatment, which we talked about on the show a few episodes back, that he wanted it to be about the Wills who controlled the Force. So this goes right back to that. The Wills who are the ones that cause the balance of the Force. And then if you want to go into Clone Wars talk and talk about the Mortis trilogy, there you go again. The father, the daughter, and the son.
Yeah.
It's all balance. That's what the father did. He created that balance between the light and the dark. He was that consistency. That, you know, the son might win one day, but the daughter's going to win the next. Freddy, you're not wrong, bro. I know you're probably getting some hate over this. I don't know. I don't know what it looks like for you in the future of Lucasfilms after that. I haven't heard of Lucasfilm making an official statement about all the F-bombs you dropped, about your opinions, if they even care or not. But I'd love to see you at Celebration still. I know John Boy wouldn't, but...
We're good. Thanks. Have a nice day. Stay away.
But either way, Freddy, you're still the man. That's all I got, man. I just said, yeah. I want to know why he went off.
Moving on from Freddy, Dave can text him later and ask him why he went off. Okay, then he'll report back to everybody on the show.
Fair enough, Freddy. Hit me up, bro.
Okay, so in other news, we had one other topic that we're going to talk about. Tony Gilroy, who was on a writer for Rogue One, is being brought back for the Cassian Andor series, and he will be writer for the pilot and directs several episodes in the series. So he's also done the Bourne series. Forgot the other ones I mentioned to you that he did. That's the most notable.
They said he worked on
But
Armageddon also, or some other stuff.
oh yeah, he did do. Thank you. I was like, I knew there was like a classic or something. Yeah, so he worked on Armageddon. But yeah, so Tony Gilroy will be back for the Cassian Andor series as the writer of the pilot, but director of several episodes, as I mentioned. So we'll see. All right,
But
good episode.
before you go to that, real quick, this just means the tone, the essence of Cassian Andor that we got in Rogue One is going to transfer over. You already know where I'm going with this, John. The only other thing that I think can make Cassian Andor series even better.
Save the dream. Save the rebellion.
Not Saw Gerrera, no. Yaba.
Oh my God.
We need Yaba.
No, I was done with the Yaba.
We need Yaba. Diego Luna loves Jabba the freaking Hutt, and I want to see Twitter explode with Diego Luna hugging Jabba the Hutt. I want to see Diego Luna light up like a kid at the candy store, fulfilling his dream of touching Yaba. Hopefully the guy put that in his contract, that him and Yaba have to have screen time. If he didn't,
Yaba,
for shame on you, Diego Luna, because this is your dream, my man.
Yaba needs to have a restraining order.
Maybe he will after, but either way, I want Yaba in the Cassian Andor series just to see those behind the scenes pictures of Yaba and Diego Luna. It's gonna be magic if it ever happens. It's gonna be magic. It will literally be my phone background.
He just loves to say the word Yaba.
Yaba.
Anyway, episode 9 or Resistance.
Let's go episode 9.
Ding ding ding! You hit the daily double.
Ooh, daily double, buddy.
You don't win anything though.
Well, that's crap.
So this is our biggest category. That's why I was surprised you picked it first. So in episode 9, you know, we've had conversations about when's our trailer, where's our trailer, when do tickets go on sale, how long is this movie, what's going on? We are starving. We haven't seen anything else. La 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 la. Well, there's speculation, huge speculation based on previous Star Wars movie trailer releases, that we will receive our final trailer on Monday Night Football, October 21st, during halftime, which will be between 9:30 and 10 p.m. Eastern, which would be 8:30 to 9 Central Standard Time.
But this is not confirmed by Lucasfilm.
This has not been confirmed. This episode is being recorded on Thursday, October 17th.
Yep.
And we have yet to hear an official announcement or anything come from Lucasfilms. Film, and I feel like we would have already had an announcement that it was coming. It may get announced during Thursday Night Football, which is tonight, may get announced during Sunday Night Football, but I think they're going to give us more time to announce it. I just don't know when they're going to announce that this trailer will go live, because I don't foresee them just putting a trailer out there and not telling anybody. So we'll see what happens. Dave found an article that said rumor or speculation was tickets would go on sale 3 p.m. Monday, right?
That's what I saw, but there was no tangible evidence to go along with it. It was just somebody saying it.
So I think a lot of the issue is there's a lot of issue because I don't know how long movie theaters have to put ticket times up on their websites, but they don't know how long the movie actually is. However, there was a picture that was posted on social media. It looks like it was from the Cinemark website about a potential 155-minute runtime, which is 2 hours and 35 minutes.
Thank you, John, for that translation.
According to Dave.
Of minutes into hours. I
highly
appreciate it.
This is a little bit more, 3 minutes more than Return of the Jedi, The Last Jedi.
It's not official. It's not from Lucasfilm. It's not 100%. We don't know for sure. We have to wait to get that official announcement.
So we have to wait to get an official announcement. And Dave and I had this conversation, and he was asking me, like, John, how long of a movie do you think is needed, or how short of a movie? And here's my response. I don't care how long the movie actually is. A movie could be an hour and 15 minutes. as long as it keeps my attention, it tells the story, and it does it in the right way. It's all based on perspective. But as long as it tells the story and completes the story and doesn't leave you hanging unless that's its intentions, I don't care how long the movie is. Avengers Endgame was like almost 3 hours. It was 2 hours and 49 minutes. In reality, that's probably way too long. I think there was parts they probably could have taken out of that movie. It Chapter 2, which Dave has some opinions on. He wasn't a huge fan of it. Was like 2 hours and 45 or 43 minutes. Didn't need to be that long either. As long as you tell the story, you keep my attention, and you close it out the right way, I don't care how long the movie is. That's it. That's what I got.
I agree. Um, Abrams has a lot of loose ends he's got to tie up. Everyone is saying so far that this movie is hitting on exactly what it needs. That fans are going to be happy that they don't see a big backlash coming after this one, after The Last Jedi. Hopefully that's true. Hopefully we don't alienate any characters and not give them the due diligence and screen time that they deserve. Let's flush out the remainder of these stories and let's bring it home. Let's bring it home and have it end the battle that ends all wars, or the battle that ends all whatever JJ said, that one quote in Empire magazine. I'm ready for it, man. Are you?
The war that ends all wars.
There you go, Lord of the Rings style. Every time I hear that, man.
I'm excited. I can't wait. There's so many different things that we keep getting. So you're leading into and segueing into that. There's a lot of loose ends. JJ said he never felt like he had to fix anything from The Last Jedi. He said he took the hands he was dealt and he made it work. But there's been so Empire Magazine, Entertainment Weekly, they're dropping a lot of photos, articles, and things like that from Episode 9. And one of the photos that Entertainment Weekly dropped, I think it was yesterday, was a Zori Bliss, which is Katie Russell's character, handing a small gold-looking disc to Poe Dameron in this photo. Interestingly enough, the C-3PO Black Series figure has his helmet removed. Sorry about hitting my desk. Has his helmet removed, and it looks like this gold disc goes there. We know that we saw as part of the trailer, as well as some photos, that C-3PO gets red eyes. There's been speculation about, is he working for the First Order and he's just there gathering intel, or was he repurposed as like an assassin droid? We also know that Babu Frick was on the same planet as Zori Bliss, Kijamayo or something. Excuse me. And he is a droid repurposer or reprogrammer. A lot of information right there. But is this potentially the disc that changes C-3PO to the red eyes? What is he doing? What is his goal? And Babu Frick is the one that implants it. Yeah.
The question is Zori Bliss gonna backstab Poe and the rebels, or the Resistance, or whatever the hell they're calling themselves now, or is that the intention, to give him the red eyes and cause him to go full blown either assassin mode or whatever mode this is gonna cause for C-3PO? I don't know. I have no idea. I kind of want to keep my options open and just let it ride, but in doing what we're doing, John, we can't really do that because we have to talk about speculation, theories, all that good stuff. It looks like everything's coming into place to have C-3PO have another, not just become a protocol droid.
Word. So, regardless of what this is, I am excited to see a little bit more about Zori Bliss and her character, as well as what this little coin thing is that she has. Is it actually turned C-3PO into the red droid or not?
The red-eyed cybernetically altered C-3PO. I don't know why I'm pondering looking like that. I'm just fascinated by the YouTube magic of editing. Now, I don't know if you're watching, but my shirt has changed. Asked
You
for my
have your
hair.
beanie on.
Yeah, I don't have my beanie on. And now I've got a frosted beer mug with ice water because I couldn't find my other cup, but lo and behold, it was in the podcast room. It happens. Either way, Zori Bliss, excited to see what Carrie Russell brings to the Star Wars franchise. I know everybody was itching and thinking she's got some relation to Rey. Do you think so, John? Yeah or no?
I don't think she has.
Now that we're close.
I don't think she has any relationship to Rey. We do know that she had a relationship or knows Poe previously.
No, you just don't know a
We,
pilot, all right? You just
we don't know. We don't know if
I'm
she
just throwing it out.
knows Poe or if they were just friends.
Poe's a good-looking guy.
Or friends.
He got around the galaxy from
Anyway.
spaceport to spaceport. You know what I mean? Just like Han Solo did.
Oh, okay. So anyway,
just like Lando. Okay.
Oh, calm down there, Cloud City.
Exactly. Yeah, Zori Bliss. We'll see. Exactly. I don't know, but hopefully we'll be getting some news about that trailer soon. There hasn't been any official leak or knowledge. Usually Lucasfilm kind of starts cranking out the knowledge like, hey, watch Monday Night Football on this day. You're going to see something cool. Which is surprising considering we just had the Star Wars show come up on Wednesday. Or Tuesday it was. I don't remember what day anymore. But no knowledge of it. No nothing. So, Good Morning America or Monday Night Football? What do you think, John? Final take.
I think it's going to be Monday Night Football.
They've been doing a lot of stuff in the morning, though, with Good Morning America.
Yeah, but a lot of that's been centered around. They've done a lot more with magazines, I think, too. I just remember the Entertainment Weekly spread. Now they got Empire magazine involved too. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the Good Morning America stuff has been really around.
It's around the theme parks.
Yeah, it's about the theme parks.
Fair enough. So today, literally Thursday, 10/17, a couple guys at IGN, they got their hands on Fallen Order.
Really?
They got their hands on it. They got to play it for 2 hours, from what I'm told, and not the beginning of the game. They kind of got thrown in halfway where they're kind of learning and mastering some powers. They're saying this game's in depth, man. They're saying it's not what they thought it was, that it's going to require a lot of time, a lot of energy, in the sense if you want to 100% it. And what I mean by 100%, John, and I say this because I know you're not a gamer, so let me clarify real quick. 100%ing is when you go in and you find every little tidbit and hidden secret in the game. So you might be walking the regular straight path, but if you turn to the left, behind this brush, there's a hidden item that gives you more insight and knowledge about the game or the characters or the universe, the timeline that's going on. We don't know if there's going to be a lot of hidden twists and turns in the game, but they're saying that it's wild. Like the skill tree, how you can learn your abilities. They don't even know if it's able to like max everything out because there's just so many different ways these things branch out, and you can upgrade your powers along the way. So for me, that I love story-driven games and being able to kind of customize the way I play. So if I want to do more lightsaber damage, okay, that's possible. You can strengthen your lightsaber and your skills with it. Or you can go and say, you know what, I'm going to use the force more. So I'm going to go ahead and increase my power on the push and the pull aspect of it. Dude, I'm stoked, man. Like everybody's saying it's looking awesome.
Yeah, which is a good thing because I know there's a lot of feedback about the previous Star Wars games. They were not as friendly. They weren't as cool. They weren't as interactive. You weren't able to do a lot of different things. So I think the gameplay we've seen so far, and I haven't watched any recently, but I watched the one that was like 20 minutes or it was super long. I was like, man, this is pretty cool and different because I played Battlefront.
Yeah.
And I sucked at Battlefront.
That was quite enjoyable to see.
But anyway, so I'm pretty excited to hear that, considering the fact that the fans have been like ready to like behead the gaming world of Star Wars and have it go back to what is it, Lucas Games or whatever? LucasArts.
Yep.
But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'm super excited about the fact that it's getting there. It's going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna play it. I'm just gonna watch it.
Yeah, that's true. You're gonna watch it, but regardless, it's the way they make video games now. That most of them are interactive movies. They say this game has really brought different elements of different games together in one, which is it's hard to do to mesh things and not have it feel like a copycat of something else. But everyone's saying it looks like it's solid. Because of that news, I finally went and pre-ordered the darn game
Oh,
at my local GameStop, which is right across from my place of business. And it sounds like they're gonna do a 9 p.m. release for the game. So I'll be able to get my little Sith pause on the game, 9 o'clock, begin downloading and getting it ready to play. And yeah, I went for the extra edition that comes with the exclusive Black Series figure.
you know.
Yeah, I know. We don't even know what this Black Series figure is. I'm hoping it's not going to be the Second Sister Carbonite edition because I already bought the darn thing. But if it does become that, I will gladly flip it on eBay, or it might be a giveaway for a lucky listener. But one of the cool things that they showed in that recent gameplay is you can actually dismember people. Or not people. You can actually dismember anybody other than a person.
The way you said you can dismember anybody other than a person.
It's true. So you can dismember droids. They show them going up against like the K2SO model droids. Dismembering that. Like giant beast or any kind of animal that you come across, you can dismember and like cut in half, cut limbs off, and it looks pretty cool. Because I know that was one of the biggest gripes everybody was saying. It's like, oh, where's the dismemberment? You have a lightsaber, you should be cutting through these guys. Can't cut through people, but you can cut through animals and droids. So it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing.
It's like you're like, I'll take it. I'll cut through other things besides people.
In my mind, I'm chopping heads off of stormtroopers and whatnot. I'm excited, man. It really, I haven't been jazzed for a game in quite a while. And a few of my coworkers, they're kind of in the same boat. They're like, dude, we're going to pick it up. It's going to be awesome, blah, blah, blah. And one of the guys that I work with, he just 100%ed Borderlands. Which I know you know nothing about that game, John, but that game is insane. There's so many different guns, and I don't even want to get into it. It makes your head spin. But he 100%ed Borderlands in like 2 days. So it's going to be a race against time against this guy who's going to want to beat it, play it, and talk to me about it. I can't let him beat it before me. So if you're coming down to watch the gameplay, buckle up, buddy. We're not shaving. We're just going straight in this thing.
Really?
We're just going to just shave after 2 days, 3 days, have a little man beard, and go from there, man.
It is No Shave November.
I'm going to come in all patchy. I can't do that. One of the cool things that they just showed about this game is we know that we're going to see other Inquisitors other than just the Second Sister, who seems to be the main antagonist of this game. Yeah. We also see the 9th sister. Is that correct, John?
It is the 9th sister, and then they were talking about like the 10th brother. I'm like, can't you people just get names, like real names?
They got names. It's like bro number 10.
It's too much. Just too much.
Yeah. Either way, so she's been confirmed to come out in the game. We see a small glimpse of her on one of the earlier images. Didn't get to really see her in full head-to-toe form. And the reason that's important, she got her leg cut off in a comic. So everybody was trying to figure out, is this pre-comic or post-comic? So now, in the latest video, or still frame image, I should say, you see her with a cybernetic limb, her leg. So now we know it's post that comic series where she's kind of going through training with the other Inquisitors.
So the other thing is too, is I saw a picture of her and I was like, this doesn't look like a sister.
It's 2019, John.
It looks like, so first of all, when I think of like the Second Sister, or like
she's very feminine,
Mother Talzin or something like that, it's like, it's very obvious. It's like, yes, and then you look, you're like, you're just a giant beast.
But again,
what are you?
That's the nature of the species. What was the name of the species again?
Dantooine?
I don't even remember.
Hold on, I have it on the Google.
The Google. Yeah.
I think it's Datuan. The ninth sister. Why the heck?
You just had
Oh, Dowtwin. Dowutin.
Dowtwin. Which we got to first see that species in live action in Maz's Cantina on Takodana during the events of episode 7, which is pretty cool because there was a male of that species sitting down next to, I forget her name, the character, the lanky chick, the one that calls the First Order and says, the Resistance droid is here, kind of thing.
Wasn't it, she was next? Who was the guy that played in that suit?
And
Wasn't it the guy that was also in Star Trek?
No, Simon Pegg was Unkar Pluck, the one that was giving Ray the rations. That was Simon Pegg.
I thought he was the other guy.
I don't know. Maybe he did 2 roles, but I know for sure he was the one that gave Ray the rations and was trying to get the droid from her.
Yeah. Okay. I knew he was one of them, but I thought he was that one for some reason.
I think the last and final thing that I've got on my list is they gave a little bit of tidbits of the Knights of Ren. Or did we already talk about it? I don't even remember. Everything's been spinning.
We didn't talk about it. You and I have talked offline about this conversation.
It's all melding
Dave actually had a bet with me. He said there was 5 issues, and I said there was 4, and I was right. So I won.
Of the Charles Soule, Kylo Ren series that comes out in December.
So David's thought is that the Knights of Ren is not going to get as much screen time as we would hope or would we as we would think. And I said, well, it seems like they've kind of turned into the Captain Phasma of Star Wars as well. Like, we got Captain Phasma was hyped up so much with all this backstory, and this is going to be all these cool things that she does, and she did nothing. It was a bummer like no other. And so Dave thinks that they're not going to get as much screen time or play as we would like.
I think we're going to see them a good little bit because I feel that this is JJ's creation. He's going to incorporate them, but we're not going to know the ins and outs of these guys. Obviously, Ren is a surname, if you will, that they're all kind of go by. So there's probably Sam Ren, Cindy Ren, John Ren. But whenever are we going to know these names? Are we going to know the hierarchy? Are we going to know that this Ren is the sniper? This one's a demolition expert. I know I mentioned before I would love it if they went a little bit further down the rabbit hole and did it toy soldier style, where you can see, okay, that's Nick Nitro, that's this guy. I doubt it. I really want them to too, but there was a snippet from the visual guide of episode 9 that shows the Knights of Ren, and it goes in there and says species unknown, home planet unknown. That all we know that these guys are loyal to Kylo Ren, so I don't think there's going to be any beef or any question in regards to, oh hey, you killed Snoke? Dang, bro, like we're after you now. No, they're 100% with Kylo. It says that they are beasts when it comes to fighting prowess. Whether it's hand-to-hand combat, weapon, melee, whatever, these guys are on it. So I'm hoping we get to see some crazy battles and these guys in the thick of things and just go into town. I don't want them to be completely throwaways, but you never know. What do you think, John?
They're the Chisk.
They're the what?
The Grisk, not the Chisk. The Grisk.
Because you made a new species.
I know.
You said the Chisk.
Instead of the Chiss and the Grisk.
So you made
and the Brodians.
Chiss and Chris baby.
Yeah, so I think they're the Grisk. Undercover.
We don't really have a good description of the Grisks. But But it could be the Grist. Snooky Poo's from the unknown regions. We don't know if these guys are from the unknown regions or where they're from, where they hail from. Some people are even starting to speculate now that they're not the long lost students from Luke's academy. That the Knights of Ren were around prior or previously to Kylo abandoning Luke and joining. But when he joined, he became the master of the Knights of Ren because he was a Force user, and these guys aren't. So he automatically climbed to the top of that hierarchy and that chain.
I could see that. I don't foresee them as being people who were at Skywalker's academy.
I think you'd see more lightsabers. I really do. It would be cool. Oh, go ahead.
As it is very true. Like from what we've seen, it does seem more hand-to-hand combat and more combat and weapons. It doesn't seem like it's
rifles, things like that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's generic lightsaber like we would see with a Force user.
So then that makes me think, okay, are these guys actually the evolution and final byproduct of the Acolytes of Beyond, who we were first introduced to in the Aftermath series? By Chucky. By Chuck Wendig, who's no longer associated with Lucasfilms because of his political views and rants on Twitter. Do you think it's the evolution of these guys, or is it just is it the Grist because it's the new crew? What?
I think it's the Grist. What did I say?
Grisk. Yeah. You're really gonna hang your hat on the Grisks? I don't know.
No, I'm not. But I don't think it's part of the Acolytes of the Beyond.
I think it's more. It's more likely to be the Acolytes of Beyond evolution versus Skywalker students.
I agree.
I think the Skywalker student thing is out. I don't think that's happening anymore. But then that begs the question: what happened to those guys? What happened to those girls? Where are they at? What are they doing? Is there a Sith Academy we don't know about, or a Dark Side Academy we don't know about?
Probably. I'm trying to find this article. You mentioned something about Chuck Wendig getting fired, and I heard an FX writer is no longer associated with them. He got fired.
Oh goodness!
And so I was like,
like,
oh my god, it reminded me. But I can't find it right now. So anyway, but my thing is, I don't think they're part of the Acolytes of the Beyond. I think it's a completely separate group.
Okay.
I also don't think it's the Grist. That was just me being funny. Maybe Rhodians, but you never know. Yeah, I don't think it's part of it. I don't think it's part of Luke's Skywalker Academy either. I think
even these are just some badasses that have been living, breathing.
That's what I feel like, and that's what I feel. And then Kylo found them, and I feel there was something that he did to win them over to where they are loyal to him, because it's obvious. Either they saw him fight, they saw something he did, and I don't know what would be like. Okay, you killed somebody with your lightsaber. That doesn't win somebody over all the time. I don't think they do it out of fear.
It does when you punch your chest. And
oh God, stop!
Accentuate
stop!
The pain.
I'm done. I'm not going to talk anymore if you keep doing that. But I don't think it's. But I also don't think it's like they fear him. I don't think they fear him. I think they willingly follow him, and he is their leader. And I don't think it was something like he saved them. I don't think they don't need to be saved by Kylo Ren. I think he just found a way to gain their loyalty, some way, shape, form, or fashion. Because nothing I can think of. I don't think they fear him. I think they're loyal to him. They found them. They were missionaries, and that's where it came from. Now, where they actually came from, I don't know.
Because in that little snippet, it says that they are encased in rusty metal helmet kind of thing, which it makes it sound like they didn't adopt these until they met Kylo Ren. Most deadly and mysterious servants with their bodies encased in rusty, battered armor and their faces permanently concealed beneath these ominous masks, echoing that of the new Supreme Leader himself. So why did they encase themselves in these masks? What happened? Was it a rite of passage, or did they just, like you said, willingly said, "Hey, boss, I dig you. That's a cool looking mask, bro. I'm gonna make one, and I'm not gonna take it off."
Yeah, I think it's like I said, whatever they're doing, I think they're doing willingly, and I think somehow Kylo Ren found a way to gain their loyalty Excuse me as I die. He found a way to gain their loyalty, and with that, they then said, "You know what? We're going to be called the Knights." They may have come up with a name themselves and just started calling themselves that.
So do you think they already had the name Knights of Ren before they met Kylo, Ben Solo, all that good stuff?
I don't think so. Knights of Ren, Kylo Ren.
Well, maybe Kylo adopted that, and he went by Kylo before, and then he was like, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna drone you guys."
I think that's far fetched. For me, it's far fetched.
So you think he created them?
I think he created them. I'm telling you, I think he found these missionaries. I feel like a band of misfits on the island of misfit toys.
So in your mind, you're thinking they could be called the Battle Bros, and then he's like, "Nah, man. If I'm gonna roll with you guys, we're gonna change your name. I'm Kylo Ren, so you're my knights, the Knights of Ren."
I don't know if that's exactly how it would go, but you got to think about the fact that he calls himself Supreme Leader Kylo Ren.
Okay.
Usually a Supreme Leader, a king, somebody in power has minions, as you can say, or knights. He has knights. They're the Knights of Ren. They're loyal to him. They respect him. They do his bidding. That's why it's called the Knights of Ren. It's plain and simple. I don't think it got all encased and this is where they're from or this is what it was before. I think he just called them the Knights of Ren. And they said, you know what, we're going to follow you. Like I said, whatever he did, in my opinion, to get them to follow him was pretty huge. For them to say, hey, we're the Knights of Ren. We're going to wear these masks, never to show our face again. That's my philosophy. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm sticking to. Mic drop.
Very well. We will know more in that 4-issue spread coming out in December about the Knights of Ren. So that's exciting. I just want to see them battle it out. I don't care who they're going against. I just want to see them. Yes, exactly like what John did on video. So if you guys want to watch it on YouTube, go ahead and do so now. All right, that's all I got. What else you got, John? Anything?
Last thing I have, spoiler alert, just to get out there. Resistance episode 1 and 2 of season 2, final season of the series.
Resistance.
The 2 series. We don't know if we're going to get a mid-season finale. I saw something on Google that said, or Wikipedia, one of the two, the same thing. 19 episodes here, which is 2 less than we had previously. We had 21 previously. So, I don't know. For me, I've seen episode 1 and 2. Don't want to get into too many spoilers. But yeah, I don't know the vision of where they're trying to go with this season so far, or where the show's trying to go. And granted, it's only episode 1 and 2, but yeah, attracted me, kept me in a little bit. But I want to know more, and I want to know more very quickly, especially considering the fact that it's the last season. It's only the second season. You know, a lot of characters had to make a lot of big decisions in these 2 episodes. You got the Colossus that flies, according to Dave.
It does. It's it's in space.
And so
there's coaxium, okay?
Coaxium. Refined coaxium, mind you. So anyway, in my opinion, 2 episodes get you in, just get you in the door, gives you a sneak peek of what's going to happen. Keeps you wanting a little bit more, but I think the biggest question I sent to Dave was where are they going to go with this? It doesn't make any sense so far. But Dave Filoni's on the case, so I'm assuming that we will know soon enough.
It's a $1 billion company. They know where this is going.
Well, I'm sure it's already written out, storyboards and everything else.
They've already done. They've already completed all the animation on these things. They're just going through and lightly dusting off this and tweaking that a little. It's good, man. It's good.
Is that what you do to your hair? Is that what you do to your hair every day? You lightly dust it off?
Well, it does. Just make sure I get a little spruce.
So that was my first take on Resistance episode 1 and 2. We'll do a deeper dive as we get further into it. But yeah, see what more to come. Episode 3 comes on Sunday.
Ooh. That's all I got, guys. Other than us not being around for a week and a half, 2 weeks, we are back in action. This podcast room of mine will get a lot better and more decked out as time goes on, because right now it's a little echoey. I got bad lighting, and I look like a little ghost face guy.
And that's how he normally looks.
Yeah, the show will go on.
Guys, you can check out our Facebook page and get our Amazon Audible link. There, if you click on the link, you get a 30-day free trial if you sign up with us, as well as 2 free audiobooks of your choice. Again, 30-day free trial, 2 free audiobooks. And if that isn't what you're after, head on over to our friends at ultrasaber.com. Pick out one of the lightsabers that you like, and when you go to checkout, in the coupon code, enter ForceFeels, all one word, all caps. You'll receive 10% off from the Rule of Two, a Star Wars podcast. This does not work on clearance sabers or accessories. We thank you guys for tuning in today. We are the Rule of Two, a Star Wars podcast, and as always, may the Force be with you.
Thank you for tuning in today. We are The Rule of Two, a Star Wars podcast. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Rule of Two Pod. Check us out on our website at www.theruleoftwopodcast.com or send us an email via contact@theruleoftwopodcast.com. Check us out on Patreon and TeePublic for exclusive deals and merchandise. And we are in no way affiliated with Disney, Lucasfilms, or the Collider Podcast Rule of Two. And as always, may the Force be with you.